Mr. Albright at home.
Well, come in. But if you're selling something, you really ought to start with me. I have a very low sales resistance.
Well, I'm Ted Andrews. You must be Margie. Your father's told me about you.
In that case, I take it our friendship is crash-landed even before the takeoff.
Oh, don't you believe it. In fact, I hope to see a lot of you at the convention.
Convention? What convention?
Oh, why, the NAIC. You know, the National Association of Investment Counselors. We're leaving tomorrow for Miami. Well, you're coming along with your father, aren't you?
Well, Dad hasn't mentioned it, but if he told you about me, you know that isn't particularly essential.
Oh, it's you, Ted. You got all the papers?
Yes, sir, right here.
Good. Now we'll get all our last-minute plans set for the convention. Let's go in the den.
By all means, let's.
Nice try, dear, but forget it. You're not going. Now, don't waste your breath. This is not a pleasure junket. It's strictly business, that's all.
Now, Dad, really, at a convention? Unless you call wearing paper hats and throwing water out of hotel windows business.
If you wanted to change your mind about your daughter coming along, well, I'm sure that is, you'd find some time from convention business to devote to her enjoyment.
Oh, not this trip, Ted. I've got a big job to do, and you've got to help me.
You mean getting the NAIC presidency for Mr. Honeywell? Oh, we'll elect him, all right.
Oh, we'd better. He put me in charge of his campaign personally. And if I fumble the ball, well, maybe your firm can use another vice president.
Time for a coffee break. You boys must be tired going over all those papers and things. How do you like your coffee, Mr. Andrews?
We'd like to have it alone, if you don't mind. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Oh, did I interrupt something important? I thought you might be talking about taking me along. Sorry.
Now, where was I?
You were practically on relief, Mr. Albright. I don't think you'll have to worry. You'll put Mr. Honeywell over without any trouble. I've contacted several state delegations as you instructed. I think they'll line up solidly behind him.
I forgot the cream. Now, wasn't that stupid of me?
Now, see here, Margie. Oh, what's the use? Leave the papers here, Ted, and I'll bring them down to the train.
See you tomorrow, then. Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Albright. Sorry you're not coming with us. But your father really has an important job to do, and he'll be busy every minute.
Oh, I know. But you won't. I'm sure Dad will be glad to spring you, as it were, so you can keep me out of his distinguished but rapidly thinning hair. See you on the train, Mr. Andrews. Please have dinner with us.
Good night, Andrews. Now, if you think you're going to Miami, you'd better think again. And don't try to wheedle me. You haven't got a wheedle good enough.
Dad, you're not serious about this strictly business routine.
I mean every word of it. This is strictly business for my beloved boss, Mr. Honeywell.
Where are you going?
I'm going to assure Mr. Honeywell that he doesn't have to worry about you messing things up for him because you won't be there.
Vern, darling, I got the most wonderful news.
I'm sorry, Roberta, but I'm terribly busy.
Oh, but Vern, guess what? I've been given a week's vacation, and now we'll have some
Oh,
time
that's
to...
nice. Have fun.
Well, what's the matter with the boyfriend? He certainly gave me the brush. And what have you got your gloomy face on for?
Well, it's a long story, and it's really quite dull. Come on in, Roberta. So that's Dad's ultimatum. Little Margie stays put while he heads south with the rest of the wild geese.
Well, let's face it, Margie, he's a man, and they've got it all figured out. One of their inalienable rights is that of attending conventions without a nagging female tugging at their sleeves.
Oh, I wouldn't bother Dad with that dreamy Ted Andrews around.
Well, let's give our poor old Vern the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps he really is going to the convention to work. By the way, where are the nation's brains gathering this year?
Miami.
Well, that's a lovely place. Miami? Why, Vernon Albright, you miserable sneak. Now I know why he doesn't want you tagging along.
What do you mean, Roberta?
What do I mean? You remember that Mrs. West, the flashy young widow that almost dragged your father bodily to the altar last year?
I most certainly do. That was a close one.
Well, brace yourself for another. Mrs. West lives in Palm Beach, which is only a stone's throw from Miami. And if I know my stones, that clinker will throw herself right in your father's lap.
If she gets him alone under a tropic moon when he's been softened up by the hot sun, Roberta, we've got to save him.
Look, I've got a week's vacation, and I simply love Miami during the season. The hunting season, that is. Wouldn't you like to help me bag a henna-rinsed cat?
Roberta, you're the living end. You can protect Dad from Mrs. West, and in your spare time, protect Ted Andrews from all predatory females except me.
Shall we catch a plane and join the ladies before they get what we're after?
Well, Albright, how's my campaign going?
Looks awfully good for you, Mr. Honeywell. Eh, Ted?
With the delegates we've already got pledged, all we have to do is line up Mr. Briggs and his California delegation. And you'll be the new president, sir.
Briggs, eh? Well, what are you lolling around here for? Get on the ball, Albright. Go to work on me.
I'm way ahead of you, Mr. Honeywell. I only hope that Briggs' daughter isn't the sourpuss that he is.
His daughter, what's she got to do with it?
Well, just to show you the sacrifices I have to make for you, I've agreed to entertain his daughter tonight, so the Briggs will be free to meet with his delegation and try to poll them in your behalf.
Good boy, Albright, but remember, don't do anything to upset Briggs or his daughter.
Don't worry, I know how to use my head at a convention.
That's using your head, Albright, but don't get sore. Conventions were meant to be fun.
It doesn't rain in Florida, boys, but oh, that heavy dew. Don't go away, Honeywell. I'll be right down with a towel.
If he brings a towel down here, I'll hang him with it.
Better go along with his gags, sir. That's Parnell, head of the Illinois delegation. He controls a flock of boats.
All I can say is this is going to be a rugged campaign.
I'll leave you two alone to show Parnell what good sports you are. See you later.
We'd better taste the pool before we go charging in. I'd at least like to get a suntan before Dad finds out I'm here and tans my hide for me.
While you're at it, see if you can spot that widow. I need a little mild exercise, like pulling her red hair out by its black roots.
Bingo! Here comes a little ray of Florida sunshine.
Margie Albright, so you made it after all. Well, this makes the convention a success.
Well, you didn't think I'd let Dad keep me away, did you? Of course, he doesn't know I'm here. Mr. Andrews, I want you to meet my very best friend, Roberta Townsend.
How do you do? I'm not supposed to be here either. By the way, where is our little playmate?
Oh, he's over there with Mr. Honeywell.
Hey, Mr. Honeywell's hitting it up pretty early in the day, isn't he? Going swimming with his clothes on?
Oh, that's just the result of a little gag. You know how conventions are.
No, but we're here to find out.
Parnell, I'd have known you through that water even if I hadn't have seen you. You know, that little joke had your touch.
That's what I like, a man that can take its joke. Here, wipe your face off, Honeywell, with that towel. I bet you've often wished you could soak your paws, hey, Albright?
Oh, Mr. Honeywell wouldn't mind. He has a real sense of humor.
Yes, sir. That's nothing to be sneezed at these days.
Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Well, what do you know? I must have sprinkled sneezing powder in that towel instead of talcum powder.
Achoo!
You get it? Nothing to be sneezed at.
Achoo! Achoo! Don't stand there, all right. Achoo! Do something. Achoo!
Take it easy, boy. A little water will wash that right off.
Very funny, Parnell. You're a card, yes, sir. Excuse me, I gotta get some dry clothes on.
Oh, wait a minute, boy. I got 1 million of them.
No, I think Mr. Honeywell's had enough of that seltzer water. You better give me the rest of it.
You got it. Oh, what a pushover. Oh, I love that Albright.
Are they having a ball? And Dad said it was going to be strictly business.
Oh, don't blame your father, Margie. That joker happens to control enough votes to elect Mr. Honeywell. speaking of having a ball, when are we going to start?
Any time now, but on one condition. You mustn't tell Dad that Roberta and I are down here.
It's a deal. Now, how about coming for a speedboat ride to start things off? You too, Miss Townsend, if you like.
An insincere invitation, if ever I heard one. No, you two kids run along. I think I'll reconnoiter in Mr. Albright's general vicinity.
Well, don't let him see you. But then I hardly think he'd recognize you in that disguise.
It's a good thing I'm the delicate blonde type. This stuff ought to keep me from burning, unless I catch that widow hanging around.
Hi, Mr. Briggs.
How do, Albright? Want you to meet my daughter, Mrs. Knight.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise, and I do mean delightful.
I'll see you later, Gloria. Thanks for taking care of my little girl, Albright.
Oh, it's my pleasure, I assure you. Won't you sit down?
Thank you, Mr. Albright. You know, for the first time in my life, I approve of Father's choice of an escort. You're a remarkably brave man, Mr. Albright.
Oh, the name is Vern.
Hi, Vern. I'm Gloria.
Oh, hi, Gloria. What was that you were saying about me being brave?
Well, most successful men are a little leery of gay, designing widows like me.
Oh, I have a definite weakness for widows, and the gayer, the better. Now, about tonight, the hotel dining room will probably be crowded with convention guests, so I suggest that we have dinner on my balcony, you know, by candlelight and wine and all that sort of thing.
Oh, I adore candlelight and wine. Also, the man of the world who suggests it.
Hi, Roberta. Oh, you should have gone with us. You missed a wonderful speedboat ride. What's the matter with you?
Brace yourself, Margie. Your father has latched on to another widow.
Another one? You mean Mrs. West ran out of the money?
That creature hasn't even shown her well-lined face around here. This is a new candidate, a Mrs. Knight. Her hobby seems to be knocking off conventions.
And Dad is her latest knockee. Oh, no.
Not only that, but he's invited us to have dinner tonight on the balcony of his room in the moonlight. Oh, pardon me, candlelight and wine.
Oh, Roberta, what can Dad be thinking of?
The question is, what are we going to do about it?
Well, I don't know, but we're certainly going to do something. Now, how do you get rid of a widow?
Just figure out how you get rid of a hungry shark and switch it over.
Wait, I've got it.
You're going to poison her food? Something slow and painful, I hope.
Better than that. We'll poison her mind. Let's get dressed. We haven't much time.
Hello? Oh, it's you, Parnell. Now, look, I have an engagement in a few minutes, and... Yes, Parnell, I know that your room is right next door, but...
Okay. I just wanted to talk to you about switching my boats to Honeywell, but if you're too busy, you'll be right over? Fine. Love that Albright. He goes for it every time. Good, you got him open, huh?
Yes, sir. But you want to be careful. There's no balcony outside. And if anyone goes through those windows, he'll fall right in the swimming pool.
Yeah, don't worry, son. You're just carrying out orders. I like plenty of fresh air.
Well, okay. But don't forget, that's why the management locked these windows. This room was part of the suite with the room next door. But that room's the only one that's got a balcony.
Okay, son.
Parnell, my friend, if we get your votes, Mr. Honeywell is in the bag.
Well, I'm not promising anything just yet, you know, but, well, let's have a couple of quick ones and talk it over, huh?
None for me, thanks.
Oh, look, I can't toast Honeywell alone. At least have a plain ginger ale.
Well, okay.
Good.
Say, this room is identical with mine.
Oh, you know, I hadn't thought about that. Well, bottoms up. Oh, Albright, I love you. You're such an obliging sucker.
Why, you never had the intention of voting for Mr. Honeywell.
I'll take it easy, Pally. Here's something to dry your clothes off.
Oh, no, you don't. I don't fall for the same gag twice. Try your sneezing powder on somebody else.
Sneezing powder? Why, Albright, you embarrass me. I wouldn't try that again on a hep guy like you. Look, see? He doesn't fall for the same gag twice, and he didn't.
Parnell, when this convention is over, I'm coming back to Chicago, and I'm going to kill you with my bare hands.
Wait, you can't go through the hall looking like that. Go by way of the balcony.
Oh, what I go through for that Honeywell. Hello? Yes, operator, this is Mr. Albright.
I have 2 messages for you, sir. Mrs. Knight has been delayed and will be a few minutes late for your engagement. Yes, sir, that's right. And Mr. George Honeywell wants you to meet him immediately in the auditorium. It's very urgent. Mr. Honeywell, that's right. Oh, you're very welcome, sir.
Number 210. This is Dad's room. Okay, Roberta, you take it from here.
Geronimo. Oh, excuse me. I must have gotten the wrong room. I'm looking for Mr. Albright. This is Mr. Albright's room. That wasn't your mistake, my dear. Who are you? I am Mrs. Albright, in complete charge of the candlelight and wine department. What? Yes, the stupid wife Vernon thought he left behind, but I'm not as stupid as either of you think I am.
But you don't understand. He didn't tell me he was married.
Fortunately, a kind friend sent me a telegram urging me to come here and remind my aging butt that he has a doe back home.
Oh, this is terribly embarrassing. What must you think of me?
Now, that should give us plenty to talk about.
Gloria?
Well, hello there.
Please, hide me someplace quick. I don't want the man in the next room to find me.
Oh, you're the cutie Albright's got the date with tonight. Well, any friend of Albright's is a friend of mine. You can hide right out there on the balcony.
Oh, thanks a million.
Yes, ma'am. Any friend of Albright's is a friend of mine.
Oh, there you are, Gloria. I thought you'd gone in the wrong room.
Oh, you...
Oh, Gloria, wait a minute. What's wrong?
Margie.
You're looking for the other girl? Yeah, she's in here. Come on. Oh, another one. What a night. Out there on the balcony.
Oh, thanks. You don't know what a help you've been.
What a night! What a night!
Practical jokers. Fine playmates your father has.
Now, you've got to admit it's worth a dunking to get rid of that widow. And I take it you got rid of her, but good.
I should do as good with the silverfish in my apartment.
Come in. Oh, Ted. I'm sorry I haven't even started to dress yet. I'll only be a minute.
Oh, never mind, Margie. Our date is off. The whole election has blown up right in your dad's face. I gotta hurry back before Mr. Honeywell murders him.
What are you talking about? What did Dad do to lose the election?
It isn't what he did. It's what some smart aleck woman did to Briggs' daughter. Posed as your father's wife and insulted her all over the place. Poor Mr. Albright is frantic. He was counting on Briggs' votes, and now he can't even talk to him to explain. The awful part of it is, he was only dating Briggs' daughter because the old man himself asked him to. He was trying to line up votes.
You mean it was strictly business? It was strictly business.
Well, I better get back. I'll call you as soon as I get a chance, Margie. Good night.
It's all my fault. I should have trusted your father.
Well, I'm as much to blame as you are. It was my cute idea that caused the explosion. You just lit the fuse.
Oh, Margie, isn't there something we can do?
Yes, there is. Fantastic as it may sound, I'm going to go see the Briggses and tell them the truth.
Well, how's the old high diver tonight?
Go away, Parnell. I've got all the trouble I can handle.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Pally. Love that Albright. He's so easy.
I agree. It's only fair to give Albright another chance.
I'm so glad you and your daughter are so understanding, Mr. Briggs.
Poor Mr. Albright. Daddy didn't give him a chance to explain.
Well, I'm sure my block of votes for Honeywell will raise his spirits.
This is number 210. He's probably out on the balcony alone with his candlelight and wine. You go ahead and surprise him. Then he won't be so angry when he sees me.
We're sunk. Finished. Honeywell hasn't got a chance now.
It's all that practical joker's fault. Well, at least Dad can't blame me for last night.
Well, he doesn't even know you're here. Briggs and his daughter won't speak to him, and it's a cinch Parnell isn't going to say anything. Besides, he doesn't even know who you are.
What a life that man's poor wife must lead.
On the contrary, Mrs. Parnell wears the pants in his family. The only time Parnell can let off steam is at one of these conventions. I'm surprised she let him come here alone.
Ted, now that Mr. Briggs' votes are gone bye-bye, would Laughing Boy have enough to elect Mr. Honeywell?
Oh, sure. But he's pledged his votes to Honeywell's opponent. No, it's no use. We've all tried to swing him over to our side.
I haven't tried, but I'm certainly going to. Now, don't argue. Just help me compose a telegram I'm going to send. Good evening, Mr. Parnell. Remember us?
Well, if it isn't my two little water sprites.
We couldn't resist coming. We were so fascinated with your divine sense of humor. You are a jolly one.
Well, like I told you, as you hit the water, any friends of Albright's are friends of mine.
Mr. Parnell, have you ever been the victim of one of your practical jokes? You know, sort of a boomerang-type victim?
Oh, not me, gals. Old Parnell's too smart for 'em. Parnell speaking, the old fun-loving rover himself. Who? My wife. She's here.
Well, isn't that nice?
Yes, darling. Yes, sweetie. Yes, darling. Yeah, I'm... My what? Oh, yes, I sent you a telegram. Well, I must have forgot. Well, oh, yes. By all means, come right up.
It's my wife. She's coming up here. She got a telegram, somebody's idea of a joke. Out, out.
Well, thanks. We'll stay and watch you laugh it off.
Now I get it. You sent that telegram. It's a frame-up.
Let's just call it a boomerang.
Oh, look, you don't know my wife. She's got no sense of humor. If she catches two bathing girls in here, she'll kill me. And you don't want an innocent man's blood on your hands, do you?
We'll make a deal. You promise to swing your block of votes to Mr. Honeywell, and we'll let you off the hook. And the credit goes to Vern and Albright.
All right, I'll promise anything. Only don't let my wife catch me like this.
Very well. But don't try to double-cross us. We're dangerous women.
Oh, you're nothing compared to my wife.
Well, hello, Mrs. Parnell.
Oh, Horace, who are these women?
Well, we were on our way to the pool, and we just stopped off to thank Mr. Parnell for pledging his votes to Mr. Honeywell. You see, my father is managing his campaign.
Well, then, that's different. I must apologize to you girls. Come sit down and tell me all about it.
Our only chance, all right. We've got to throw ourselves on Parnell's mercy.
Parnell, we've come to talk to you about the election. I beg you to...
Just a minute. At least give us a chance to...
I just can't stand to have people thank me.
Margie, Roberta, what are you doing here?
Why, Dad, we just came to thank Mr. Parnell for deciding to vote for Mr. Honeywell.
That's right, all right. You finally sold me.
I did, but I...
No more thanks, please. It embarrasses me.
Oh, then I'm as good as elected. Why, this calls for a celebration. I'll have room service send up a bucket of champagne.
No, don't bother, Honeywell, old boy. There's a Magnum cooling outside on the balcony right now. Why not go and get it?
Mr. Honeywell, wait.
Oh, no. Let the new president pop his corn.
Capital idea, Parnell.
Now that the convention's over, aren't you glad I went along after all?
Yes, dear, but you won't go next year, so don't get any ideas. Because I'm not even going to let you find out where the convention's going to be held.
Oh, that's all right. I've already found out. It's going to be in California, and Mr. Parnell has already invited me to come along with him and his wife, just for laughs.
What?
Yes, sir. Any friend of Albright's is a friend of mine. Love that Albright. He goes for it every time.
Yep. little Margie.